In this episode, I'm walking you through 3 really common areas most membership founders overlook and why these actually lead to your members canceling. Welcome to the $1 Million Memberships Podcast, where we help female entrepreneurs like yourself start, grow, and scale multiple 6- and 7-figure online memberships with simple, step-by-step strategies that actually work.
Your life is about to get so good.
Let's dive in. I have to tell you something super exciting because this was highly requested and now it is happening. It is here. You can officially join me live Tuesday, October 13th for a completely free membership masterclass where I'm going to be showing you how to build a sticky AF membership community that gets members incredible results, skyrockets your monthly revenue, and keeps your members staying long-term, which in membership world is gold, is what you are looking for. This workshop is designed specifically for you. If you have a membership, it can be new, it can be established. This workshop is designed specifically for you. If you have a membership, it doesn't matter if it's brand new. Actually, it's great to know these things right from the get-go. Or if you have a membership that's established and you're really just struggling to get members engaging and or keep your members in general. Maybe for you, your members are joining, but then they just disappear. Or you feel like every single day you are talking into a void and no one is answering you, no one's talking to each other. Maybe people are only engaging with you, but nothing really happens without you. You're kind of the glue and the prompt for everything that happens inside of your membership. Or maybe you are just relying on consistent launches to keep your revenue up. You feel like you have a leaky bucket where you're getting people in, but then people are leaving and you just can't break past this member plateau that you seem to be stuck at. If any of those resonate, then you need to be on this masterclass. I cannot even stress the importance of the concepts that we're going to be covering on this masterclass and how every single person who has a membership needs to understand these concepts. 70% of your revenue as a membership founder comes from your retention and keeping your members happy and engaged. And not to scare you, but if you don't know how to build a sticky community and create a true culture inside of your membership will eventually crumble. So I really encourage you to come onto this masterclass. You can pause this episode super quick, hop into the show notes. It's the very first link that you'll see. You can go find all the details, get your ticket. On the live masterclass, we're going to be covering how to build a truly sticky community. I mean, a community where people are showing up, they're engaging with each other, where it feels like an actual home. It feels like a community. It feels like something people, and yourself included, want to be a part of every day. We're talking about why people actually leave and how you can fix it right away. And we're going to be talking about how you can make sure that your community is thriving without you, where you don't have to actually be the glue. And because I tend to go a little hard with everything that I do, everyone who attends live and stays until the end is going to be receiving a free membership growth gift that you can use ASAP inside of your business to really pour gas on the fire to build a sticky, engaged community right away. Now, here's the thing. There are only 200 free seats available. And registration, if you are listening to this in real time, just opened today, January 5th, 2026. That's weird to say, but January 5th, 2026, registration is officially open. We have limited seats. And like I said in the beginning of this, created this because it was highly requested. So I have a feeling these spots are going to go fairly quickly. So if you're listening to this and you want in, pause this episode right now, click into this episode in the show notes. It is the first link that you'll see. Grab your ticket right away before they sell out. If for some reason you are not familiar with your podcast app and it's really tricky to go into the show notes, if you are on my email list, I will be sending it out there. If you are on my Instagram at The Membership Muse, I will have the link in my Instagram bio. If you're like, oh my God, I cannot find this link, just send me a message on Instagram and I'm happy to send it to you. I just want you to get in. This is, again, like I said, the most crucial topics that we are going to be covering. And I know you are going to find it so beneficial. And also, I know you're going to have light bulb moments that you're going to be like, oh my God, I didn't think of that. And you're going to be able to implement these things right away inside of your membership. So again, go grab your ticket before they're gone and let's get into the episode. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the $1 Million Memberships Podcast. I'm so excited to be here. I've got some insanely exciting things happening, which if you listen to the beginning of this episode, you already heard. And this episode is really going to give you a good precursor to the masterclass, because the masterclass is really talking about how to build a really sticky community. But what comes with that is also making sure people actually want to stay inside of your membership. You can't have one without the other. They really go hand in hand. And having membership retention, having a really strong member retention rate doesn't just happen. Member retention is very intentional. And one of the most common struggles I hear amongst membership founders is really around member retention and getting members to stay. So for example, something I hear a lot is, oh, well, I can get members in the door really easy, but it's actually getting them to stay. I'm finding that people are canceling all of the time. I'm finding that people come in for a month and then they cancel. And then maybe they come in for another couple months and then they cancel. And as a membership founder, not only do you not want that, because you want your membership to snowball and snowball, 70% of your membership revenue really does come from the members that you keep. So you really want to be focusing on retention, but also that's going to be a hit to your confidence with your membership. If people are canceling all the time, what does that say about your membership? Of course, it's normal to have churn every single month, which is a membership term for having members cancel. It's normal. And if you want to hear the actual numbers and what is like considered a normal churn rate, I just did a podcast on the membership industry average numbers that you really need to be tracking inside your membership. And I do cover that one. So if you have no idea and you like spiral if one person cancels, really recommend listening to that one as well after this episode. So it's normal, but ideally, we want to keep it in the above average range. If you can only get members coming into your membership, but you can't actually get people to stay, then you're going to have what I call a leaky bucket, where you're constantly getting people in, but then you're constantly having people leaving. You're not actually growing your membership. So today we're covering the 3 most common reasons your members are canceling so that you can really make sure you pay attention to that, refine those areas, and cover your bases. The first reason is that your members are not actually feeling connected to your community. As membership founders, community is pretty big, right? It's a pretty big thing to cultivate a community, to grow a community, to create a culture inside of your community and get people really feeling connected to your community. And one thing I will say, as somebody who has had membership since 2019, Million Dollar Memberships Club being my newest membership, which is under almost a year old now, I'm still really working to cultivate the culture, cultivate the community in there, because it takes time. So if your membership is under a year old, just know if people aren't really connected or the community's not bumping in the first month of your membership, it's okay. If it starts to dip after you've had your membership for a little while, it's normal. However, you want to also make sure that you actually understand how to create a sticky community, which is what we're going to be talking about on the masterclass coming up. We're talking a little bit about it in here as well. So know what's normal, but also know the strategy so that you know what you're doing is actually going to work when you stay consistent with it. So, okay, I get sidetracked a little bit, but going back. So the first reason is people are not actually feeling connected to your community. So one way that really helps me think of this, this is an analogy I use inside Million Dollar Memberships Club, which I know has been really helpful for a lot of people, and I'm going to share it with you here too. This is something I want you to think every time you are doing something to try and boost engagement in your community, or anytime you are thinking about strategy for your membership, I want you to think of this. Have you ever gone to an event alone, or like a dinner party alone, or something where there was a lot of people there and you went alone? Maybe you had a really good friend that was having some kind of event and she invited you, but you didn't have anyone to go with, so you went, and obviously you know the friend, but she's busy hosting everybody because it's her event. So you're there and you're just kind of staggering around. You don't know anyone there and it's a little awkward. Let's just say at this event, you've been there for an hour and you still haven't really connected with anyone. Maybe you just didn't meet anyone at all, or maybe you just didn't really find anyone that you connected with or wanted to connect with, and you ended up just sitting by yourself. How likely are you to leave that event the minute that you can? Chances are pretty likely I would be out of there. Versus if you went and let's just say you actually met someone, you sat down, you had a drink with them, or maybe you ate with them and you just completely hit it off. You had a really good conversation. You really related to one another, laughed, you got to know each other. How likely now are you to actually stay at that event longer or even till the event is over? This is literally the exact same thing for your membership. It might not be in person, but it's the same concept. You need to work tirelessly, endlessly in your membership to make sure that you are forming connections until that starts to just take over on its own, which it will, but that takes time. So for you as a membership founder, you need to really make sure, number one, you're working to do that, especially in the beginning where things really will be falling on you a little bit more than hopefully they will in a year and a half's time. And you also just need to make sure that you have systems in place to get members to really connect with one another. People leave when they don't feel connected. They get what they needed, maybe it's templates, resources, whatever it is, and they're out of there. But when they are connected to others, even if they got all the templates and the resources that they wanted, if they are actually connected to your community, connected to other members, it's a place where they open up their phone and they want to check in every day. And it's a place where they feel safe to just talk about their day or talk about their wins or their struggles or whatever else. They're more likely to just stay because of the community. And that is what you want with a membership. Number two, which is absolutely huge, is that they don't have a clear viewpoint of how they'll get the result inside of your membership. Whatever that result is, what is the promise of your membership? What are you taking people through? What journey are you taking people through? If people don't understand once they get into your membership, how they'll actually see that result, there's a big chance they're going to cancel. Like, let's just say your membership helps corporate women go from working a corporate office job to being a full-time remote nomad. But they just come into your membership and all they see is downloads and files and resources and meditations and everything is just kind of in one place. Maybe it's separated into sections, but at the end of the day, it's kind of just files uploaded and are there. There's no real checkpoints or milestones or how to use what section or when to go into what section. It's just sectioned out and you're kind of hoping for the best. Even if your information is in there, even if the information is in there of how to make that transition, how to go from working corporate to working full-time remotely, for themselves, they don't know how to get the result because they don't know where to start. A lot of membership founders, especially, I'm seeing it be a little bit different now. Like a lot of people are kind of realizing community and building memberships is literally one of the best things that you can do. But before, when I had started, like when I first started my first membership in 2019, the way people used memberships or the way people started memberships was a little bit differently. Usually it was like you had one-on-one coaching and then maybe you had like a group program and then people would do a membership last as like a bottom feeder offer, which looking back is crazy, but that was how a lot of people did it. And so what people would do is they would just take all of the resources that they created for like, say, their group programs or their one-on-one or like masterclasses they had done or whatever it might be, guest coaching spots that they had taken part in or whatever else. And they just throw it into their membership and kind of hope for the best. They're just like, here you go. Here's all this content, but no real direction of how to use it. If you are doing this inside of your membership, you might have the best intentions in the world, but I guarantee you, your members are not going to feel the same way and they are going to leave. And number three is kind of like a piggyback on number two, but it's a little bit different. And that is that your members actually just feel overwhelmed by the content or the information or the navigation of your membership. If someone is confused, they're out. If someone does not feel clear, they're out. It's very rare that someone is going to contact you or contact your team and let you know about whatever it is that they're struggling with. A lot of times people are just going to see, okay, this sucks, or okay, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here, I'm canceling. People aren't going to put in the extra effort, especially if you have a lower ticket membership. People are likely not going to put in the effort to reach out and try and get support, which is why having retention practices and actually understanding how your members are feeling inside of the membership is very, very important. We are going over that in the masterclass. Definitely recommend you be there. But again, if your members are feeling overwhelmed by content, by the platform itself, whatever it might be, there's a good chance they're going to leave. And I actually have a little story time here because this happened to me I don't remember if it was last year or the year before now. I feel like the years have just kind of blended together at this point, honestly. But basically, Cliff Notes version of this is there was someone that I had been following for a long time. I loved their content, and what I was going through at that very moment in my life, it was exactly what I needed at the time. And they came out with a membership, and I was stoked. I was like, this is exactly what I need. This is perfect timing. This is exactly my journey right now. I need this. And I joined right away. When I got inside, I felt immediately, what's the word? I think I just felt really frustrated and I think disappointed as well. Frustrated and disappointed. And the reason for it was because this person, I think one reason is because I come from obviously the membership world. And when I look at someone's membership, I see everything. Like I can tell how their back end is set up. I can tell what they don't have or what they do have set up for automations. I can tell like where the holes are. Like I view it in a very analytical way because that's my job. So I think that was a big reason for it, because I was like, frick, this person has so much potential, but this membership is just not it. There was downloads everywhere. And I mean, just like in the most random spots. Like it was almost like you had to go on a little treasure hunt to find something. And some of the downloads weren't even labeled. It was just like the file name. You know what I mean? When you save something in your computer and you don't put a name on it, it's just like this weird file name. Some of the downloads were like that. Things were everywhere. There was no organization. There was like some separation of categories, but like very, very minimal. And honestly, because this person had been around for a long time, like they weren't a new creator in the space, it almost felt to me, kind of what I was saying before, it almost felt like they took everything that they've ever created over 10 years, like ever, and just put it into the membership. And here's like the even more frustrating piece is this person knew their stuff. It wasn't about them not knowing their stuff or not being able to potentially get me a result, because I almost guarantee you the information that I personally needed to get the result I was after was in that membership. Like I guarantee you it was in there somewhere. But I, number one, didn't have the time to go or the honestly want to go and open every single file, look at what was in there, see what resonated, what didn't resonate. But also like I didn't have a roadmap of how to use the content. I didn't know if I should be starting with this meditation or if like meditations were 10 steps down where I needed to start. Maybe I needed to start with something else. Like I just didn't know, right? Because that's why I'm joining the membership. But because I was just so confused of where to start and overwhelmed by all the stuff and like literally had no idea where to even go, I couldn't get the transformation anyway because it just wasn't laid out clearly of how to get it. Kind of like putting these two together with point two of just not understanding the roadmap of how a member is supposed to get a result inside of your membership, paired with everything just being really unorganized, messy, confusing, navigation all over the place. The membership itself just being really overwhelming or tricky to use or too many areas to go. Simplicity is usually the best bet when it comes to memberships. That is drastically going to increase the chances people are going to come in and leave. Even if your membership is amazing, even if you have all of the stuff in there for them that they would need to get the result, navigation, organization, pathways, it matters. If you are going to be joining us for our Build a Sticky AF membership community masterclass, we'll be going over each one of these plus more in detail, including what you need to get set up inside your membership so you stop losing members and you create a super sticky, engaged community. So on the masterclass, we're going to be covering how to build a community that people actually feel connected to right from the start and what you need to implement inside of your community to achieve that. We're also going to be covering how to make sure your members have a super clear path of how to see results inside of your membership and just don't feel overwhelmed and can confidently show up to get the results that you are promising. And also just how to keep your membership thriving without you actually being the glue holding everything together. We want our members engaging with each other. We want people just posting in there when they have a win or when they had something exciting happening in their day or whatever it might be. We don't just want people responding to you and you alone. It's going to be such an essential masterclass to be a part of. So if you can make it, I really, really recommend you get your ticket. Again, it's happening live January 13th at 10 a.m. PST, which is 1 p.m. Eastern. You can head to the link in the show notes of this podcast for all of the details and to get your ticket. And as a reminder, we only are opening 200 seats for this masterclass, and I have a feeling they're going to go quickly. So if this is something that you feel like you need, block off the time in your calendar right now, go grab your ticket, and I'll see you live on the masterclass Tuesday, January 13th. I hope you loved this episode. I hope it was helpful, and I will see you next week. Bye.